What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. Okay, today we're going to do something that I'm just going to call chart play, and I'll explain to you as we get going what that's about. But for right now, we're going to start off with 5 double streets with a 10-cent bet, unit bet, and I'll explain to you how we got there. So, okay, there it is, 50 cents. A couple changes to the layout here. Hopefully you guys like it. I told you last video that I was going to try to maximize the screen size. So I've made the screen size even bigger. I've shrunk the area that I'm in right here and the stuff above me. But down below there on the bottom there, you can see the profit, the losses, the balances, and a little bit of the history. So hopefully you'll like that. All right, chart play. Let me get underway here. And also the chart at the top, the graph, I cropped that out so that it's smaller and taking up less space on the screen too. So let me know if this satisfies your desire to see more. Bigger is better. Okay, so chart play. What I did is I told you guys a while back that I was trying to come up with a tool that you could input just a few fields and it would spit out the rest for you. So you could either put in your bankroll and your strategy and it would tell you, this would be your unit size. This is how long it'll take you to play. Great. We just lost. First second spin, always. First second spin, always. We're going to martingale. So what I did was I have this sheet and I went through with 4 of the most common strategies, right? For me anyway, 5 double streets, 9 streets, outside 1-to-1 bets, the red, black, high, low, even odds, and 2 dozens, 2 columns. So what I did is I went through and said, okay, based on the bankroll chart that you can see there and going down with it, you can see I have it going all the way down to $10,000. And I'll explain this in a second here. All right, we won that one again. I feel like I should be playing goalpost neighbors on this one here because I feel like on these prag tables, they're always hitting in the same spots. I really do, but it could be until I bet on those spots. Okay, so let's go back to this real quick. And so what you can see here is you would look down on the left side of your bankroll. And in this case, we started with the $200 bankroll. So $2 bankroll, 5 double streets. It says, hey, you should be playing with a 12-cent unit size bet for a 60 size total bet. That'll get you 8 progressions. For each of these 4 main type of strategies, I put in what I felt was the minimum strategies you really should have to be somewhat safe, right? And I say somewhat because we know I get questions all the time. Hey, what is a safe way to make this much money a day? There's no safe way. We can try to make it safer, but there's no safe way. So this was born about because of that. I had so many people. Oh my gosh, look at this. We're just, as soon as we get in here, look at this. He starts whacking that. All right, we're on our 3rd progression here. I feel like this is how it always goes with me. I start playing and literally right off the bat, we get behind the 8 ball. We just start getting into debt right off the bat. So coming back to the sheet, I wanted something that you could go down and look for your bankroll size or even your unit size and go across that grid and go, okay, based on that, look at that right next to the 34. Again, I'm telling you, goalpost heroes would be crushing it on this table right now. And I think we'll do that in another subsequent video is do goalpost heroes. So you look down at this chart, you find out any of the information you want to find out, whether it's the strategy, and then it'll tell you what bankroll for the unit size. Now, obviously, we can't do, in this case, at a $200, we can't do 12 cents, right? So because we can't do 12 cents, round down, this is just a guide. This is kind of just to give you an idea of what it would be like. Okay, we need 3 wins here because we've lost. So, and I'm sorry you can't see this. I'll wrap this up. So anyway, you go across here and I have this for the other strategies too. Now the play minute, 125 minutes, you see that. How did I calculate that here? And let me get rid of this for you guys so you guys can see the screen again. How did I calculate that? To make math easy, I went, okay, 1 spin per minute, which actually, most of these wheels will do your spins right around 42 to 45 seconds is a pretty good average spin amount. But I'm to make the math easy. And again, we want to err on the conservative side. So 1 spin a minute. In this case, we're making 1 unit, which is 10 cents. And on that chart, I have it set at a 5% target goal based on your bankroll balance. In this case, it's $200. 5% is $10. At 1 spin a minute, you're going to be making 10 cents, right? Every spin. And how many spins would that take to get to $10, which is 5%? But we don't win every spin, right? We got to lose and we got to recover just like we did there. And so I added another 50% factor to the time. So another 50% of spins. I don't believe it'll be 50% of spins, but you know, who knows? Let's see how it comes out because I haven't tested this yet. I haven't tested to see the accuracy of that chart. Again, that's sort of just, I want that chart just to be a starting place for you. But let's see how close we get to that today. And of course, every session is going to be different. You could have some sessions where you go 35-0 and some sessions where you're literally 1-to-1 ratio, right? 8 wins, 8 losses. And it's just a tough grind, in which case I highly recommend you just stop, take a break. Now, it's showing 125 minutes, which is basically 2 hours, right? I still stand by my thing. It doesn't mean you need to play for 2 hours straight. I still like time boxing things, okay? So I like a 15-minute time box. I think that's a really, really good time box. And don't worry about your profit target. Just worry about playing for 15 minutes, playing in the right progressions. And I was actually chatting with Roulette Master the other day. We were both talking like, hey, isn't it funny how we can sometimes, all of us, including ourselves, will go and we'll play and we won't follow the rules. We won't even follow the rules that are ourselves that we preach on our channels. It happens to all of us. You know, you start chasing, you get competitive with yourself. He and I were also talking that, you know, you do get used to, if you start betting big and making more money, and whatever big is to you, okay, whatever that is to you, it's subjective and it's relative to you, whatever size you're playing with, but you get used to those. And then when you go back and you need to go appropriate bankroll, unit size, etc., you're like, oh my gosh, because I'm looking at this going, if I hadn't charted this out on our progression chart and known how many progressions this would give me, I'd go $200. I would be betting probably $5 units, right? And that doesn't even remotely get us close to 8 progressions. So, you know, it's just kind of funny. He and I were talking about that you get used to these bigger bet sizes and then you get focused on those, and it's harder to go back and do what you're supposed to be doing, which is playing within your progressions. Progressions are life. Now, a couple things. You can find these Excel sheets, and I'm going to show you the complete Excel sheet with the other strategies on it here in just a little bit. But you can find all this stuff on our website, allonblack.net, or you can even better get into our Discord server and find it there. All right, we're going to need 3 wins, right? Because we're martingaling only. We're not doing a super martingale. We're not doing a 3X. We're just doing a standard martingale. So if we go back to this sheet and show you a couple of things that are assumptions. One, the assumption is, and you can see it at the top, it's a 2X progression multiplier. So you'd have to take that. Number 2, profit target 5%. That's what I think is reasonable. This does, based on these, give you 8 progressions. You'll still have some money left over. It just means that you can't make the next martingale to level up to the next level. Okay. And again, we're coming so close to those. I think that maybe 2 neighbors with goalpost would absolutely crush it, but it would give you quite a few numbers. Anyway, so that's what this chart is. Let's see. You can see the time above. We're going to go for about 15 to 20 minutes, probably about 20 minutes, and see here what is our profit level at the end of roughly 20 minutes. Give or take, right? Because we had a little bit of time, just a few moments, but we got started pretty quickly here. So we'll see what that is, and we'll see how close how accurate it comes to, I have, like I said, I have yet to actually try this. The spreadsheet was built on my experience, but I haven't actually put this into play for every single bankroll. But it goes in increments of $50 because I wanted to make it, relatively, relatable to you. So you can see initially it starts out at increments of $50. Once you get up a little bit higher, it starts going in increments of $100, and then it goes up in increments of $500. Then it starts going up in increments of $1,000. Wow. Look at this. This dude is just nailing the goalpost. And it wasn't really doing too much of that up until we got here. So anyway, there's that. He just hit the goalpost. Let me get this sheet out of here for good for you. And then, like I said, at the end, I'll actually pull up in the Excel spreadsheet so you can see the other things. Let me know what you think. This is a beta. This is a work in progress right now. So this by no means is, actually, oh, wow. Again, look at that, right next to a 34, right next to the 2. I mean, I swear almost every one of his spins have been right next to a goalpost number. So my goal is that you can take this, because that's probably one of the number one questions I think I get in the comments, or we get in Discord, or people DMing or even emailing me through our website. Hey, I want to make $100 a day. What kind of bankroll do I need? What kind of strategy should I play, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully this chart will actually answer those questions, and you can look at those. Obviously, it doesn't have every single strategy out there. It just has 4 of the most common. But you can, what I suggest to you, if you don't like those strategies, you can take those and go, what's the coverage, right? 2 dozen is 24 numbers. So if you see another strategy you want to play, and it's also a martingale strategy, you can look and go, what's the coverage on that? Oh, it's 30 numbers, 29 numbers, 28 numbers. And you can line those up with 5 double streets, 9 streets, match it up on that chart with coverage. And I'll continue to expand that. And stay tuned. Our website here real soon is going to have some really great, look at that, right next to the 34 again. Dude is tearing up the wheel right there. This is when casino matchmakers follow the winner 13 number would be doing really well, right? Because he'd keep hitting that 34. I still owe you a 3rd session on that. I promised you guys 3 sessions. I did 2. I saw in the last comments, and I meant to go back and comment back on that. But people are saying they wanted to see that 3rd. And I had a couple DMs. People were like, when are you going to do the 3rd session? When are you going to do the 3rd session? So I am going to hit the 3rd session right next to 35, right next to a goalpost again. All right, here we go. We're going back down to base bet here again. So let's see, we're at 13 minutes. Right as it stands now, let's say we were to win this bet at, and let's just say it's 15 minutes, we would be at $1.15. We should do a little bit better in that, but roughly $1.15. Or that would be, we multiply it by 4, that would be $4 in 1 hour. That would be $8 in 2 hours. The chart said 125 minutes to get to $10. Now, that was also at 12 cents. This is at 10 cents. So I think we're hitting right where that chart is kind of saying how long it would take you based on these units and based on the one spin being a minute, which is right. It's actually 45 seconds, but we need to build in time for losses and time for cleaning the wheel, or if you're going to, get set up or you're going to miss a spin, plus 50% on top of that. So realistically, we're counting one spin every 1.5, every 1.5 minutes. So 90 seconds. And I think that's coming true roughly in terms of what it is. Okay, there we go. So 15 minutes, we're at $1.10. Let's just round this out. Let's go to 20 minutes and see how well this does. If you got some ideas for some head-to-heads that you would love to see, ideally you would come in our Discord and DM me or put it into that's the easiest way. Just DM me and say, here's 2 strategies. But if you're going to do that, the easiest way is you're going to have to explain those strategies if I don't know them. Number 2, I'm not really going to compare strategies if it's a super high risk one that I have a good chance of losing a lot of money on. I'm not going to do it. unless we go 10 cents and I put a stop limit loss. But we're looking to do more of those comparison videos where we're actually spinning the wheel at the same time. Same table, same wheel, same time, two different strategies. I think that is a really great way to test out two strategies head to head. Although once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions, 10 sessions does not really mean anything in terms of is one strategy better than the other? Because you can certainly have a run of bad numbers for one strategy and it'd be great for the other. So it's just kind of give you an idea more than anything of what do these strategies do when they get down? How well do they recover versus, literally this one's better than this one. So that's what I see the comparisons more of. How do these things behave? How do they recover? Because I've always said, I don't really care so much about how much a strategy makes as much as I care of how deep in the progressions does it go and how well does it recover, right? Because if you, right next to 34 again, loving that spot. We're definitely this would have been a good time to make the goalpost lover video. So anyway, that's my feeling, because if you remember on Casino Matchmaker, when we did the bracket challenge and I was going up against the Magic Raven, even though my strategy made more money at the end, I look back on it and I said it from the get-go in that particular instance. And I think, we could probably play that several times and have different outcomes. Of course we would. But in that particular situation, I really felt like, actually, if you're comparing those two strategies, his was better for that session because his got fairly close to the profit target, the profit level that my strategy did, millipede minions. And his didn't, I don't believe his went as deep, but I'll have to go back and watch it because someone else said later that it did get into some, a pretty decent progressions or into a pretty decent debt there. So I'll have to go back and watch it. But overall, I felt like, I'm right next to a goalpost again, 35. I look back and go, if it doesn't get as deep, but it still does profitable, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have one that, gets you down and down, and you're going to be clenching every time you play it, which is like that 13 number system that Casino Matchmaker likes? I don't care for it. Just depends on what you want. But then again, as high of coverage as 30 numbers is, I've gotten down deep in the weeds with this thing too. So that's why I say nothing is safe. We can try to do safer, and then pretty much whatever strategy you try or you decide you want to use, I think if you give yourself ample progressions, but progressions are life, take your time, be willing to spend more time, more short sessions of 15 to 20 minutes, hopefully. I think your success rate will go through the roof. And I know that you can beat the casino. I know it. I have no problem beating the casino. It's when and same with a bunch of our members, right, in our community that talk about this all the time. It's when we we go off that path of doing what we know we're supposed to be doing, and we get greedy, we get competitive with ourselves. That's when you will fail, and it will catch up with you. So you may get away with it. I know this is how it's happened to me. You get away with it, and then bam, you don't get away with it, and you hit those sessions where they nail you 5, 6 results that you go, this is not possible. This is not possible. And yet it is very much possible. Oh my gosh, 26 just saved us. And there we are again by goalposts. I so badly want to do. All right, last spin. Here we go. We did very well. Let's just say at the end of 20 minutes, we'll say, to make the math easy, we are at $2 for 20 minutes. Times 3 to do an hour, that's $6 in an hour. Times 2 hours is $12. If we look back on our chart, right, it said 125 minutes to make $10. And this was with a $12 bet. So we're right there. I think this chart is pretty accurate insofar as where it will end up. Now, let's pull open so that you can see the entire thing. This is the entire spreadsheet. And again, it is available right now on our Discord server, and I'll be putting it on our website soon. But you can go across, here's 5 double streets, here's 9 streets, same type of concept. I have, there's no mathematical calculation for the progressions. I have hard coded and said, these are what I feel are the minimum number of progressions for that strategy. Minimum, okay? 10 on 9 streets. If we come over here to outside 1-to-1 bets, 12. I really prefer 14 to 15. And over here, 2 dozens, 9 progressions over here. And it'll give you, again, the profit target stays the same. I've always preached 3 to 5% profit target is a very sustainable goal. Obviously, if you're feeling really comfortable and you have your system down, you can go 10%, you can keep going higher. But I think 3 to 5% is a very, very sustainable goal for most of us. And it just tells you, here's a strategy, here's how much time it's going to take you to get to your goal. And here would be the unit size. And so you can kind of go through here and look and go, hey, outside bets, if I'm going to have this many progressions, it's going to take me 375 minutes to get to 250. If I come over here to 2 columns, I have 75 minutes to get to 250. Something's got to give. How are these so different? Well, you got 14 progressions here. I suspect, and we'll try it in the next, I'll do another one on the 1-to-1, that we will far exceed this 375. These are very conservative, but you can run into these stretches where you are going to go 10, 12, even 9 over here on 2 dozens to me is very, because it's not just consecutive losses. Remember, it's progressions until you recover. So if you lose 2 or 3 in a row, then you win one, then you lose another one, then you win. You're steadily going down the progressions. You need these in order to be safer, not safe. All right, that's it for today. Let me know what you think. This is still in beta. I'm still finding a way to improve this. And hopefully one day you're only going to see one line where you can fill in maybe 3 of these or 2 of the fields, and it's going to populate the strategy. It's going to figure it all out for you so you don't have to scroll across that. And again, be looking at our website, AllonBlack.net. In the next 2 weeks, we're releasing some really, really cool tools that are really going to help you out there. It's going to be pretty neat. So, all right, that's it. Be good humans. And it's always, 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 always us against the casino. Get into our Discord server. And if you're interested, if you have disposable income and you like gambling, jump onto Raise Casino. Our affiliate link is in our Discord. Get in there. We do giveaways every day for our affiliates, free money, plus a paid leaderboard, plus the raised paid leaderboard. Plus, we're also now doing raffle tickets at the end of every month for all of our affiliates. Every $5,000 you wager, you get a ticket. We'll be giving away 3 winners. We'll be giving away an extra $100 to each of you. So that's it. All right, guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Play safe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.